What's up, guys? The attendance was 20,067. Sold out. Gate was 16.5 million, third highest gate in UFC history. Fight of the night was Gaethje versus Holloway. Performance of the night was Yuri and Holloway. Holloway wins $600,000. Well deserved.
I guess, Dana, normally we don't spend too much time on bonuses, but knowing that they were $300,000 a piece, it was a little more difficult tonight figuring out where to assign that money.
It wasn't difficult at all. I mean, if you were watching these fights tonight, it was pretty clear. But this was one of those special nights. Obviously, I'm going to take care of Figueiredo. I'll take care of Moicano, Diego, Kayla. Take care of those guys too. We're gonna make sure everybody leaves here in a good mood and feeling like they got what they deserved.
Nice. Well, you set out to make this the greatest night in combat sports history.
I did. We're the bells and whistles guys. We do all the, and then once the show starts, it's out of our hands and it's up to them. And when you have a night that looks like the greatest night ever in combat sports on paper, and then absolutely fucking delivers, it's the best.
Well, talk about, a lot to talk about, but I guess let me just start with Max Holloway, the $600,000 winner.
He's outside right now on the phone with Justin Gaethje right now. We were talking to Gaethje on the phone when Holloway walked out, and they're both talking on the phone right now, and fucking Holloway is walking. Holloway is walking. Nobody?
Yeah, that's crazy. Those leg kicks were insane.
There isn't anything big enough on the fucking table here to show you how the thing coming out of the side of his leg was 3D, and he's walking. And when you think about when we were sitting in that room and we created the BMF, we came up with tonight totally embodied what that belt was built for. And there should be a picture of that fight in the fucking dictionary when you look up BMF.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
I was going to ask you,
and I don't know if you noticed this, and if it happened to you guys too, but that fight sucked the fucking life out of everybody tonight.
I was right.
Everybody was, the next two fights, everybody's just sitting there like dead. It was like this adrenaline dump. It was incredible. It's like, people always ask me what I do. I sell holy shit moments for a living, right? That was the ultimate holy shit moment of all time. If you were at home, if you were in a bar, or if you were here live tonight, there's no bigger holy shit than that.
Absolutely.
And that's why, let's just talk about this fight for the rest of the press conference.
100%.
So that's why Max Holloway is beloved. And Gaethje. Max, how many times have you seen a fight where the guy wins, he's winning, they click the 10-second thing and the guy puts his hands up and they just run around, move around? He's got the fight won, and he's in there with one of the most dangerous fucking fighters in the business, right? And he says, let's do this. And they both fucking oblige, and they go in and just start. 1 second left, and a knockout like that. That's like movie shit.
It's one of the greatest moments in UFC history.
It's the fight of the year. If something beats that fight of the year, holy shit. I don't want to see the two guys that are involved in that fight at the end of the fight.
I love it. Well, you talked about the BMF title, right? In the beginning, it was one and done, and people always did a gimmick or whatever. But like you said, what we saw out there tonight was insane. Does this change your perception of the
I never said it was a gimmick. I fucking did it.
Right?
I didn't say it was a gimmick. I don't give a shit what anybody else says.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Tonight, that's what the fucking BMF is all about, and I'm glad we did that belt. And yeah.
So Max is calling for
here to stay.
A featherweight title, a lightweight title. You'd probably take them both in the same night. What do you do with Max Holloway now? The guy is just an unbelievable star.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll put something good together for him. And I agree with you. He was a star coming in here, and he took himself to an entirely different level after tonight, man. Tonight was a career-defining moment for a guy who has already accomplished so many great things. One of the greatest featherweights of all time, and if not the greatest, and what he did tonight.
Right. Like you said.
He's always talking about how he's got the best hands in the UFC, and then he does what he does tonight. So, yeah. Fucking awesome, man. I can't say enough good things about both of those guys and that fight.
It would be easy to talk about only that. Last thing I'll ask, I just want to ask you about Alex Pereira in the main event. A pretty good accomplishment there as well, defending that belt. What do you think about his performance? And he reveals, hey, man, Brazil would be nice. Heavyweight would be nice. So what do you think of his performance, and what do you think of where he goes? Because he's becoming a huge star, too.
Yeah, he looked awesome because I have a lot of respect for Jamal, too. And let me tell you what, Jamal didn't come in here, thinking Jamal came to win, thought he was going to win. And the other thing, I don't know if you guys don't know this yet, but I'll tell you, I just found out when I went up in the octagon because I saw him messing around with his foot. He broke his toe 2 weeks ago, and he fought tonight with a broken toe. I thought he broke his toe in the fight, and his team's like, no, he broke his fight 2 weeks ago, and he's like, yeah, I ain't losing this opportunity for a fucking pinky toe. That's what he said. So props to him for that, too. And, yes, he's a big star. And
I mean, do you entertain heavyweight?
Incredible for Brazil. Don't lie. Don't any of you fucking guys lie to me. Who thought Max was going to win tonight? Raise your hand. All right. Yeah.
I wrote it.
So when you think about him moving up to heavyweight, you got Jones, you got Aspinall, and the list goes on in that heavyweight division. Heavyweight division is nasty. I don't know if that's the right move for him. He looked damn good tonight in the division he's in. So I think you might want to stick around there for a minute. But I don't know. These are all things that we'll talk about for the next 15 Tuesdays. You know what I mean? So we'll get it figured out.
Dana, you posted the finish to Max and Justin on your social media. So obviously that's a pay-per-view finish that you let people see for free. Do you do that just because you're so excited and you want to share it, or because you think this can make Max into a massive star just using a separate...
How do you not post that? I mean that needs to be shared. We posted it. ESPN posted it. We all posted it. Yeah. You probably all posted it too. If you didn't, fucking post it.
It's officially permission. In the co-main event...
I'm getting notes. This has never happened before.
Do you want to read them?
June 1st, Newark, New Jersey pay-per-view. Main event, Islam versus Poirier. Co-main event, 5 rounds, Strickland versus Costa. June 29th. Conor versus Chandler. 5 rounds, 170 pounds. Who's got the next question?
I'll take it. Dana, thank you for just dropping that little nugget on us. The Conor Chandler fight, obviously a fight that's been in the works for ages. I know you've been working on it for ages. What finally got it across the line, and how exciting is it to finally get Conor back in the octagon?
Well, it's not that we've been working on it for ages. There's all kinds of things that go on behind the scenes. It's all about timing. Chandler's been ready, but Conor hasn't been ready. Conor, we talked about this at one of the press conferences recently. He had a lot of obligations that he had to deal with. What you don't want him doing is accepting a fight when he's got a ton of obligations and he can't train 100% for a fight. So here we are tonight.
Obviously, he suffered that traumatic leg injury in his last fight, and he has said that when he comes back, it'll be the greatest comeback in sporting history. If he was to come back and win that fight, would it be one of the best comebacks, considering the injury he suffered?
Well, I think when you look at that injury, it's happened in UFC. We just saw Chris Weidman come back. Anderson came back from it. You've seen it in football. It's probably one of the nastiest injuries that you could possibly get, For some reason, you see guys with broken arms all the time and stuff like that happens. It's hard for us as humans to wrap our brain around that bone breaking. That's just it's a nasty injury. And it's a rough recovery, too. It's a really rough recovery. I mean, any of you guys that saw, who's the football guy that did it?
Rogers.
Huh?
Rogers.
Bunch of football fans in here, huh? Whatever his fucking name is. Anyway, if you saw the piece that they did on him trying to recover from that injury, it's pretty nasty. Huh?
Yeah, that was it, right? Alex Smith.
Alex Smith.
Yeah. Okay. Whoever, it was fucking nasty. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Here in the back. Want to talk to you about one of the most savage moments I've ever witnessed in my life. That moment where Pereira just moves Herb Dean away without even looking at him. He didn't even take his eyes off Jamal Hill. What did you think about that insane moment? And 10 seconds later, knocking him out, of course.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. I thought you were talking about what he did after he knocked him out. Yeah. So, well, you left the part out. He got hit in the groin. He tried to stay. He's like, and then knocks him out. Yeah, I agree with you, sir. That was incredibly gangster.
Congratulations on an absolutely amazing event.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Dana White back here.
Yes.
So as a fan, in a fan perspective, what meant most to you, and what did you like most? UFC 100, 200, or 300?
300's tough to top. You know what I mean? Obviously, hitting 100 was Lorenzo and I in the old days, we used to do 5 shows a year, right?
I remember.
So when you think about, we always knew we wanted to do more events. Never do you think that you're going to end up doing. Every time we would try to push and do more, everybody would say, you can't do it. That's too many fights. Then the fans and the media start to go, it's too much now. And when you're putting on great fights, there's never too many fights. As long as you're putting on good quality fights, there's never too many. So Lorenzo and I never dreamed in a million years. We thought we'd be like 90 when we hit UFC 100. So when we did it as quick as we did, obviously that was a huge milestone for us. But in the history of me doing this type of work, I don't know what tops 300. So mission accomplished.
And from a promoter standpoint, do you ever just take a look back and say, okay, when I first became the president of the company, when we first purchased the company, did you ever fathom that you would get to 300 events? And did you ever give yourself your own flowers for what you have accomplished and what you have done for the sport? Every single major promotion fell by the wayside, especially the ones that were bigger at the time, maybe Pride. But, do you ever give yourself your flowers and give yourself a pat on the back for what you have done for the sport and just take a look back? And
I say this all the time. I have no rearview mirrors in life. I just keep looking forward, and I'm always thinking about how much bigger it can be and what else we need to do. And I don't ever think about that stuff. Obviously, I'm very happy with what we've accomplished, and me and my team. And I think that every year that we keep beating what we did last year and we keep becoming more successful, me and my team become closer and stronger every year. And that's a very scary thing.
And one more question from me. Mark Coleman, obviously with the BMF title, he's now a hero in not just wrestling and the MMA community, but hero across the world.
He's a superhero.
I love him. So do you plan on continuing the relationship with him, especially because what he have done for the sport and part of that generation to help build the sport to what it is today?
Nah, not that he just did what he did. I'm going to fucking kick him to the curb and never talk to him again. Nah, I'm done with Mark Coleman. Of course I'm going to have a great relationship with Mark Coleman. He's one of the nicest guys in the world. He's a legend in the sport. He just saved, his parents from a burning building and went back in and tried to get the dog, and could have died. Mark's been through a lot of things in his life. He's battled some demons, and he won, or he's winning, I should say, right now. I don't know if you ever win battling demons, but he's winning. And I think he's got a great relationship with his kids, and he's in a good place, man. So I'm happy for him. It was an honor to honor him tonight.
Awesome. Dana, just down to your right.
Thank you.
Dana?
Yep.
I believe you said after the power slam.
Got it? No? It's over? No? I know you look great, brother. No. I had to take my fucking suit off. Now,
So what was the conversation like, I'm guessing today, about the deal?
the mic goes out as soon as I get a power slap fucking question? Come on. This is bullshit. Bullshit. What happened?
What was the conversation like to get it done?
It's never hard with Connor. It's never hard with Connor. I say it all the time. Connor's been a great partner. He's easy to deal with, and we're back. Yeah, Connor's always been easy. Connor is a die-hard UFC guy and will be.
Fight for that Conor McGregor card?
I don't know. We'll figure that out on many Tuesdays over the next several weeks. That's all the fights that I have for you now, the ones that I just announced.
And just wondering if you saw Amanda Nunes' reaction to
I
it.
did. I like it. I thought she retired too soon anyway. I like that she's intrigued by this fight. I love it. And I love Amanda. Amanda and I have an incredible relationship, and I think she's the GOAT in all combat sports, female. So if Kayla can get in there and win a title, it would absolutely be fun to see her come back and try to grab it. She let me tell you what. So going in, Kayla Harrison has competed at, I guarantee you she had some serious, an absolute legend in all of combat sports. So, yeah. Definitely did. Yeah, I mean, she was, another gangster fight tonight, and she was choked out, but she stood up at that one for the next few weeks. Beautiful shot. Should have jumped on.
9th against Movzar, and then he wants to fight in the Sphere against.
That kid's going to be an absolute superstar.
Canada at all? Canadian fans are wondering.
Not right here off the top of my head. I can't think of any. No. Yeah.
For a long time, you said it's kind of impossible, but him to Hawaii.
Let me ask you a question. I have how many employees do we have now? 550. I want to go to Hawaii. Hawaii has been good to this company and to this sport for a very long time.
In Hawaii, wouldn't the atmosphere just be off the wall for Max Holloway?
Yeah, but there's more to it than that. There's more to it than just going and doing a little. You're not going to go to Hawaii and do an Apex fight night. You know what I mean?
Bellator.
Might as well fucking stay here and let them fly over here, and it doesn't make sense.
I got
What were you going to say?
I was going to say Bellator has had Hawaii events.
Bellator could put on a fucking fight in the parking lot. Dude, I can't even believe you just said that. PF Bellator could. You know PF Bellator was here on Friday. Did anybody know that? You're the media guys. I didn't know till fucking Friday. They were selling tickets, buy two, get two free. I'm not busting on them. That's a fucking fact. They put out a memo, buy two, get two free. You're having a bad fucking week if those are the memos you're putting out.
Hey, Dana.
There were more people in my fucking green room tonight than there were at the fight.
Finally, Bo Nickel, what do you think of his performance?
Incredible. Looked great. The thing you got to understand about that kid, he's 5-0. Fought a guy with 15 fights, and he went out there. He was a fucking 2001 favorite and looked like it. You know what I mean? He's got a lot of pressure on him right now. He's got, all these expectations, and I think that some of the people feel like he's getting, this preferential treatment. No, the kid, we believe in the kid. We think that he's going to be a stud, and we think he's going to be a star. So he's handling this pressure really, really well. You know what I mean? He's got the type of pressure on him that after he wins against the guy who has 15 fights and he has 5, and he finishes them, he says, thumbs down. I said, kid, you got to stop putting that kind of pressure on yourself. You just come out and do what you do. Just keep fucking doing what you do. Keep winning. You look great. Block out all this fucking bullshit and noise and yes.
Going back to Amanda and Kayla, would you ever consider doing that fight as a BMF title fight for women?
Well, if they did it, it would be for the belt. It would be for the championship.
But neither of them hold a title right now, so.
Well, they won't fight right now. I think what Amanda was saying, interesting. Let's see how this plays out. If she wins the belt, then maybe I come back. That's what I read from it. I don't think she was saying, hey, let's BMF this. I think she wants to come back and maybe see if she can regain her title. And then it's one of those things. And she's brilliant. She's brilliant for this because she's already looked at as the GOAT, right? And then you have this scary new woman that comes in and she destroys Holly Holm. Can she win the title? Can she get through Pena and Raquel? And if she does, for her to come back again and then possibly win this fight, it's impossible to deny her.
Right. And there was also a moment where Armin, it looked like he was punching somebody in the crowd during his walkout.
Yeah, you might not want to hang over the things and grab people when they're walking out. These guys are all fucking piped up and whatever, and I'm sure we're probably going to get sued. We'll deal with that on Monday, too.
Thank you.
All right.
Dana, right over here.
Hi.
Dana in the back.
Yep, wherever you are. I see you. Yeah, there you go.
Jiri Prochazka with a big pop from the crowd and got back in the win column. Obviously, he's still highly ranked. Can you talk a little bit about what your plans may be for him going forward?
I have no clue. You know what? I feel bad for those two. That was the fight of the night until the BMF fight happened. That was another. Let's talk about that fight. Thank you, sir. These poor kids, they went out there and fucking went to war, man. I mean, Rakic looked incredible. He was picking them apart. Prochazka comes back and wins the fight. You know, place is going crazy. Unbelievable fight. That was fight of the night until the insanity happened, you know, for the BMF. So, yes, both those guys looked incredible. They both came out and laid it all out. And I'm happy for Prochazka. He's an absolute set. Plus, talk about leg kicks. I mean, his leg was done. He was done. And he pulls out the win in that fight.
Real quick on Zhang Weili. Obviously, she's been on a roll for quite a while now. We know there was a China event that got rescheduled. Is there a possibility we could bring her back to China for an event, or do you see her maybe in the U.S. still?
I have no idea. We're working on a bunch of other places that we're going to go this year. I don't know if China is on the schedule yet or not. We're still kind of mapping out the end of the year.
Thank you.
Dana, over here.
Yep.
Now that Conor and Chandler's official, was there any talk about showing like a graphic or video in front of the arena with the fans, or was that too last minute?
Yeah, no. That's all internet bullshit. Internet bullshit.
And obviously, Aljamain Sterling made his featherweight debut today against Calvin Kattar. While the fans didn't find it the most aesthetically pleasing, I want to just get your thoughts on his debut at 145 pounds.
Anytime you move up weight and you win, especially against a tough guy like Calvin, and I thought that, here's what I will say about Aljo. I thought that he made Calvin look slow, you know? Not a fan favorite on UFC 300, but moving up in weight and taking on a tough, gritty guy like Calvin is always a good win.
And speaking of fan favorites on UFC 300, I know you've been a part of many great fights and moments. Where do you rank those final 10 seconds between Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje amongst the moments you've seen in person?
The whole fight, let alone the 10 seconds. But the last 10 seconds is the type of Arturo Gatti shit that I always talk about that fight fans love. There's a reason that people love Gaethje and Holloway the way that they do, and that's it right there. When you're a fight fan, that's like a dream, two guys like that. Two guys like that squaring off and facing each other. Broken nose, fucking eye pokes, legs all busted up. Guys way out in head. There's no denying who's, you sit there and go, Holloway won this fight. He says, let's do it. Let's go right in the middle. And they both do it. You'll see a lot of guys that'll go, oh, we're going to go right in the middle. We're going to do this. And then the fight starts and maybe not. Right? And there's a lot of guys that try to do come on, let's go do this. When you have two savages like those two that go out and just do it, it's just, you couldn't script that. If you saw it in a movie, you'd call bullshit on it.
Last one for me. I see you're wearing the UFC PI Mexico shirt. They just announced the UFC Academy over there with 19 athletes from Mexico and Latin America representing. So how big is that for the next step of continued growth in MMA out there in Mexico and Latin America?
Yeah, it went really well down there. The combine that they did, and basically the team that worked down there in the combine came back and told me, holy shit, wait till you see what's going to happen down here in the next couple of years, which I already knew. Yeah, it's incredible. I'm really looking forward to the future with Mexico.
Dana,
Thank you.
You talk a little bit about that last 10 seconds with Justin and Max. We saw a little bit of that with Jim Miller and Bobby Green, and Jim Miller obviously didn't get it done tonight, but this historic streak of 100, 200, 300, how impressive is his longevity and what he did tonight?
Yeah, great point. Great point. And again, two more Warriors that went out tonight and just went for it. And yeah, he was on a bad receiving end of that Bobby Green fight. I just saw a picture of him in the hospital right now. His face is not good. Yeah, there's going to be some people that are sore over the next couple of weeks, man. Everybody showed up tonight.
And I talked to Islam Makhachev a few weeks ago, and he was very adamant. He just wanted to fight June 1st. He didn't care who. Did you have the Poirier fight done coming into tonight, or was there a possibility if one of these lightweight fights went smooth and those guys wanted to turn around, were they in the running?
There were a couple other options, yeah. We were looking at other people too.
Okay. And I appreciate you dropping PFL-ator. I actually coined that one. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Dana, to your right.
Yeah.
The pacing of all the way over to your.
Hi.
Hey there. The pacing of the show was a little bit different tonight, and I suspect it's because you had an enormous level of advertisers that were being crammed into the broadcast. Can you compare maybe 200 to where you are now, and how different it is?
How did you feel the pacing was different than a regular show?
It felt a little bit slower.
Really?
Felt a little bit slower, both in the.
I had them. Have you ever been to a boxing event, ma'am?
Listen.
There's fucking 45 minutes to an hour between fights. The walk-in is an hour and 15 minutes. The list goes on and on. I thought that the pace of the show tonight was just like any other night. Obviously, we have advertisements and commitments that we have, but we keep a pretty fast pace when we do fights.
But in retrospect, how do you feel about the difference between, let's say, 200 and 300, and how much easier it is to be in the marketplace as UFC, as a combat sports operation, and having those kind of partnerships? I mean, it hasn't been that long ago where you couldn't even go to New York City.
No, you're right. And it took, when I was talking about Power Slap has been around for 14 months. They have more sponsors than UFC did in 7 years. So obviously, the early days of building this company and the sport are a lot different than today. I mean, and that's one of the biggest pieces of growth for the company has been sponsorship. It's massive and continues to grow.
Just one more for me. So we're talking about having UFC in the Sphere for Mexican Independence Day weekend. Recently, Matchroom has floated the idea of perhaps bringing Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano as a rematch into the Sphere, maybe as early as June. How did you feel about that? And I know that it's been a big deal to be the first combat sports operation to go into the Sphere.
I love Eddie Hearn. I consider him a friend. Ain't happening. Sorry, Eddie. Love you, buddy. You can go in the Sphere in October.
Dana, down here,
Dana,
right? You said earlier this week that you think that in the future, eventually, you would be able to top this event because you have a history of topping your biggest events. Do you think, after seeing tonight, that that's going to be possible?
That's a great question, brother. And here we are again. I say this all the time. How do we beat 300? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, but we're going to find out.
You were very generous with the news of 301, 302, and 303. Any update on 304, which is potentially rumored for the UK?
Which is the UK fight?
Yes.
Yeah, we have nothing done yet, but I pretty much said already we're going to Manchester. We don't have a deal done. We don't have anything done yet, but we're going to Manchester. And let me just remind you all what it's like to be in Manchester. One of the greatest events that I've ever been to was when we first went into Manchester. That place is awesome. The fans, the crowd, I'm looking very forward to that.
You mentioned, obviously, that time it was 2:04, I believe, but that was at 3 o'clock in the morning. Will it be at a normal time in the UK?
We don't have a deal done yet. I don't know anything yet.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Dana, currently Weili and Yan's fight attract over 30 billion views social media back in China. From your perspective, 30 billion views among social media. So from your perspective, how big is the fight, impact to the Asian marketing for you?
Great question. Sir, where are you from?
From China.
I figured that, but where are you from?
I'm from Migu, China Migu.
Okay, got it. So nobody knows better than you how hard it is to trend #1 in China, right? We've been #1 for 2 days trending in China.
Exactly.
Which is unbelievable. And yes, this was a massive sporting event in China. This is like the first time we've done well in China. This is the first time we've really broken through in China. And like, I didn't know the 30 billion. So thank you. Yeah, it's been incredible.
No problem, sir.
Yeah.
Just follow up at the question. It's like, probably not this year, but how soon you want to bring the UFC back to China after?
Yeah, somebody asked me that earlier. I don't know exactly when we're heading back there, but a night like tonight doesn't hurt, and it's all good. I'm excited.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you, sir. One more, last one.
Right here.
What's up, buddy?
I want to ask you about the in entertainment environment with the bracelets and everything, everyone on their wrists and everything like that with the lights going along with the show, the atmosphere and stuff like that. What did you make of it?
I made it. What's the question? What did I make of it? I made it.
In terms
That's what
of,
we
like,
do.
Your expectation versus the reality of it.
It was awesome. So you know what I did during one of the fights? People always ask me this question. I watch the monitor. I watch very little of the actual live. I'll look up every once in a while, and I'm on my phone the whole fucking time. People think I'm like I don't give a shit about the fights. All I care about is the production, the live production in-house, and the television production. So tonight, I left during one of the fights and came back to my green room and watched it. We have a big screen back there, and I watched it on TV. And with the lights and all, it was incredible. It looked incredible on TV. Just like I always say about Power Slap and obviously UFC, the production is incredibly important to me. It's the only things that I really focus on a daily basis is finding young up-and-coming talent, making sure we put on the right fights in the right place at the right time, and in-house live television production in-house production and live television production. That's what I focus on literally every day in the office, and other little bullshit here and there, but that's my main focus. So when we have an event like tonight, and you look at young talent that's on the card tonight, how they performed, how the thing looked in-house and how it felt, the energy and the buzz, and how it looked on television, right? And then you look at the fights that delivered tonight. You couldn't have a bigger fucking home run than tonight. So
And
I hope I answered your question.
You did. And a quick follow-up about Dreykus. He was seen in the crowd and everything like that. Do you have any plans on where you're going to have him, who he's going to fight, if it's going to be Izzy or the winner of Whitaker, Chimaev, anything like that?
We're working on it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Well, Max, you've had a Hall of Fame career with Hall of Fame moments well before tonight, but obviously this was pretty special. But, I mean, just as you sit there tonight, where does this moment rank among all the great nights of your career?
For me personally, second, man. Nothing like going out to Rio, fighting the King of Rio, getting an undisputed title against him is amazing. But, being here, just shout out to Justin Gaethje, brother. He had everything to lose, He still took this fight. UFC 300, the biggest fight card for the next decade probably, and to go out there to do what we did, we both got paid, so I'm happy for that. And even the fans, pushing in for this fight, Justin accepting the fight, getting my Flora shorts, crazy championship-like walk. So it was just an amazing night.
Yeah. Obviously, the end of the first round, that turning sidekick did a lot of damage to him, but then you kept throwing that throughout the night. Was that because of the success you had the first time, or was that something you keyed in on in the game plan coming in?
Justin just liked when he stands still, he stay there, or when he throw hard, he stay there. He's there to get hit, and I was blessed enough to land that spinning back kick, brother. I think it broke his nose. I could hear Trevor in there being like, don't blow it out. So I was like, yeah, his nose is broken, and I just knew fighting 20 minutes like that, is a tough thing. So I think so. As being at altitude helped him a lot because, brother, any less of a man does not do what Justin Gaethje does, brother. That guy he's made out of titanium, brother. I don't know what it is. He's a titan.
The moment that'll live in history, of course, the finish, right? I mean, what's going through your head, right? Because you're clearly ahead on the scorecards at that point. I mean, we've seen you engage in the center like that before, but a guy like Justin Gaethje is even more dangerous with guys that you've done it in the past. What's going through your head in that moment that you're like...
This is the moment. This is what BMFs is known for. The baddest mother effer. First of all, I want to change the name to Blessed Man Forever. That's what the belt means when I hold it. Blessed Man Forever. But if that's not a BMF moment, I don't know what is. If the cards was flipped and Justin was up, if he felt like he was up, I knew he would give me that 10-second shot. So he's a bad man. And I don't know if I ever gonna share the octagon with him again. He's a legend, brother. These are the type of fights. This is the type of stuff you do to etch your name in the history books. And I'm just happy that I was the one landing. You know, he missed some shots. I was getting hurt by the wind of his shots, but that's how hard he hit. This guy is he's the next level.
I don't know if I've ever seen a guy with more options on the table than you probably have right now. 45 title, 55 title, BMF title. I mean, is there one thing knowing that you can pretty much call your shot at this moment that means more to you than anything else?
Like I said, bro, I did a bunch of interviews with you guys all week, and I told all you guys, ask that question when I come here, and we're here now, and I got options, man. It feels great. You know, Dana's happy, Hunter's happy, Sean Shelby's happy. You know, we're going to sit down with my team and figure it out, you know. I saw that just announced the 55 title, so it looks like he's finally defending against a 55er, which is, you know, good on him. And like I said, you know, there's El Matador. He's doing everything in his will to try to escape a bull in the pen. So, you know, I'm here. First things first, rest. I got my beautiful wife. I got my beautiful family out here. All my family, we're just chilling, brother. I got a 30-day no contact from the doctor, so I'm gonna enjoy it.
Last thing for me, Dana shared that, you know, as he walked by, you and Justin were on the phone having a conversation out there. Can you share the details of what you guys talked about?
I owe him and Trevor a drink. I told him that we'd have a drink together. So at the end of the day, that's what I did. So they was keeping me to it. It's like, brother, you need to find us and come get this drink because you owe me a shot. So hey, it is what it is. Like I said, Justin is different, brother. Their whole team, they respectful guy. Like I said, he had everything to lose, and he still gave me the shot. You know what I mean? And it happened this way. So I got nothing but love for him, brother. Like me, when the first time I fought in Denver, we had everything set up. Like not many people know, but Justin took care of us. Justin drove us around. He had his whole life and his dog in that car. You know, it was crazy. And to be sitting here at UFC 300, standing in the octagon across him, looking at this dude, like, holy shit. You know, that's amazing.
Max right here. Do you think anyone is ever going to oblige with you pointing to the center of the cage again?
I hope so. If you be a man, you want to be great. That's what great fighters do. Everybody thought I was lying when I said I was a gladiator. You know what I mean? I ain't lying. Any weight, whoever, whatever, anyone can get it. But shout out to you, brother. You know, without having an interview with you, Mark Coleman was super. I don't know if you saw his reaction. He was super ecstatic to wrap the belt around us. And then even with the ideas of asking the question, you alley-ooped to me, brother. You gave me the alley-oop for the bonuses. I'm here. I got 2 bonuses, and you know, thank you for that.
No worries. Do you do anything special with that money?
Brother, you gotta ask the boss lady right there, John Wick looking ass over there. She looked like John Wick. She inspired me today. Her fit was like John Wick vibes. So I was like, I gotta go out there and be an assassin.
So a lot of people thought that Justin knocked you down tonight, but the official statistics do not give him a knockdown. So
Oh yeah. Hey, it was a slip. It was a slip.
All right, let's stick with that. Thanks, Max.
Max over here. After the fight, you said, I'm him on the microphone. So did you feel like as y'all must have forgot moment was there?
Brother. I was counting out. People was telling me what I was doing. Justin was going to be too big, too strong. Just a lot of stuff, you know. People need to get reminded. And I'd let them know. I was telling people all week, but we're him. Well, I'm here. And you guys need a reminder. Everybody was talking about the haircut is back. I guess so this haircut is like going Super Saiyan or something if you guys are anime fans. So at the end of the day, it was just a huge moment for me, you know, being blessed enough to be in there, being UFC 300, having this event, brother. This event is going to be talked about for ages, you know. I don't know what card is ever going to have 12 or more champions on top of it, you know. So we might have to wait to 400 for that one, and that's a ways away.
And obviously you want that Ilya Topuria fight, but after how good you look tonight at 155, could you see a world where you call 155 home for the long term?
We see what happens, bro. I'll go sit with my team, and we have options, brother. I ain't in a rush. No, I ain't going nowhere. I'm only 32, brother. A lot of people watched me fight when I was 20 in this sport, and you guys think I'm like 41 or something. You guys think I'm DC's age. You know, I'm not. I'm 32. I've been around for a long time. Get used to it.
By any chance, did you see Ilya's reaction to your knockout?
Yeah, I saw it. People saw it, but I don't know. Like, you know, like everybody's like, oh, he's like whatever, but. You can't. I don't know the dude. You know what I mean? You don't know if he's socially awkward or something. So like maybe that's just what he is. You know? No. Fair play to him. You know, I don't know how animated or whatever he is. So I ain't gonna take to it. This guy is a world champion. He's a killer. But like I said all fight week, brother, it's quite. You know, we got questions. There's a lot of questions about the guy, and I wanna figure that out.
Last one for me. Dana was just in here and said that Hawaii probably doesn't have the necessary infrastructure to host a big UFC event. So is that something you're going to be pushing for until you call it?
Nah, I'm over that, brother. If there is one stadium that I think that they could hold us in, but I don't think I'd be able to fight. It'd have to be like UFC 300 tickets, and I wouldn't feel right paying my people paying that kind of money to watch me fight. So there could be a UFC Hawaii. You know, we got a bunch of other Hawaii fighters. We got Dan coming up. Hopefully he can get the UFC Hawaii card for him. You know, so at the end of the day, this is like the ninth island. You know, you guys saw in there how much Hawaiian flags you guys saw there, right? This is like Hawaii to me. If Ilya is the next one, I know they can't get in Spain to next year. And if they're not doing and if they moved on from Alex and they want to go at me, why not Legion Stadium? 66,000 people. This is like UFC Hawaii right here. I feel right at home, so that'd be huge.
Max in front, right here. Ilya actually just did an interview with ESPN, and his quote was, "It's clear for me my next fight is against Max Holloway. Congratulations and enjoy tonight. But after fighting me, he will have to go back to the back of the line."
That's cool. I mean, what do you want me to say? What if he goes in the back of the line? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we find out. Like I said, we got questions. We got questions, you know. We're in the fighting game. Ilya can talk. But I got a lot of questions, you know. I like listening, and if that ever gets booked, you guys are gonna see a lot of answers. So I'm excited for it.
Max, if you were to go on and beat Ilya and become champion again, it sort of opens the door to another fight with Volkanovski down the road. And you always said
100%, 100%. I ever get that title back, Volk stayed around. I want to fight him one more time, brother. I'm gonna keep knocking on that door until I get my one, you know.
Well, I remember when you lost the third fight to him, you said, "I'm just going to be undeniable," I think was your word.
Undeniable.
And here you are today. Essentially, if you get one fight and one win, you could make that happen. Does it feel good to know that despite everyone saying that you can't really do something, that door's closed, you can open it yourself?
Bro, be undeniable. Be undeniable, you know. I see a lot of guys fighting certain people being like, "I deserve this, I deserve that." I'm like, nah, man, you know, like I'm not fighting contenders. See, if I wasn't fighting contenders, then I can see why you guys all be like, Max shouldn't deserve it. I'm fighting every contender. You know what I mean? Every contender is coming through me at one point, except for Ilya. You know, Ilya just jumped the line. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, you know. You want to be great in this sport, fight the best people. Fight the people who you got to take chances in the sport to make a name. And I was just happy that, you know, I took the right chance.
Max, over here. You threw like 700 spinning back kicks to Gaethje. The first one broke his nose, obviously. But was that something that you saw in film study and like something that you saw that maybe you can get him with?
For sure. You know, he likes to plant his feet, throw, and then he likes to duck. You know, and I was blessed enough to land that first one, brother. That first one right at the last seconds of the first round helped a lot. Like I said, he got a broken nose from it, so that was good. That was definitely about the plan. We saw a lot of things. Justin's a little quicker than I thought he would be, but like everybody said, that guy hit hard, brother. It's very hard. So you know, I'm glad I got to come out of this kind of unscathed. The leg is kind of stiff, but it is what it is.
And you know, obviously, you say you have options. You have Ilya. You have the winner of Islam Poirier. Conor and Chandler just got announced tonight. Is that a fight that you're gonna keep your eyes on?
Brother, we got options, brother. Conor likes to consider himself a BMF, right? So we can figure that out. I don't really got history with Islam, but me and Dustin got some history. 5 years to the date, Muffin Top Max fought Dustin, and that didn't go my way. So at the end of the day, we got options, bro. First things first, heal up. I'm going to enjoy this with my family, and you guys can ask me in a couple months what's the next step is.
Max, here.
I don't know where here is.
You won your second belt today. Do you think about winning the lightweight title to be the only fighter in history with 3 belts?
I mean, if it's history, let me do it. You got to ask Dana White. Yeah, ask Dana White them that. If it's history, it's history. I know right now I hold the history for winning an interim, undisputed, and now the BMF, so why not, you know? I want to be great. I want my face to be edge in the record book. So if that's the next step, that's the next step.
Hey Max, right over here. They did just announce Islam taking on Poirier, who obviously you got history with. How do you see that fight for the lightweight title going in June?
Should be fun. Should be fun, man. I think it's gonna be a fun one. I think Dustin is coming to his own again, and should be exciting. I mean, what is the over/under on top of Justin jumping a ghillie? Because You guys all should make a bet and get money because I can't bet.
Hey Max, UFC 5 came out last year, and are you still incorporating that into your training routine to come up with combinations?
No, I haven't been playing too much games. I don't play fighting games. I play shooting games. I play first-person shooters. But yeah, you know, if maybe come over to my kick.com/Max Holloway. Maybe you guys can harass me to get some to learn some new combinations on there. One more. Last one, brother.
Max, I caught up with the great Brian Stan outside, and we were talking about you, and he agrees with me, man. Why go backwards? You look tremendous. I did a side-by-side piece. Your neck looks bigger, your lats look bigger, your biceps look bigger. Dude, we just saw the results. Why go back to 45?
Because I got unfinished business, brother. I got unfinished business. A lot of people is talking about Ela like the next big thing, and I want to taste, brother. So we see what happens, though. You never know what happens, brother. And of course I'm going to look big. I'm Polynesian, brother. I finally can eat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
So congratulations on your victory tonight. Obviously, you looked very impressive early, but it ended up being a very difficult test for you. Were you expecting that type of fight tonight?
首先，恭喜你今天取得了胜利。今天的这个比赛，其实后来好像看的还是打得挺艰难的，这是不是你所预期到的？
是的，今天的比赛非常艰难。我知道小南现在非常厉害，然后这2年他进步的非常非常多，他的柔术啊，他的这个抓反击的能力非常强。
Yeah, this is was kind of expected because Xiaonan has improved a lot. Not only that she has great striking, also her improvement in grappling, wrestling, and she's really good at finding chance to fight back.
而且她对胜利的渴望非常非常强烈，她的那种，我觉得女性的韧性真的是无法想象的。
Yeah, also she's so eager to win, and it's just so impressive that female's power can be so incredible.
Watching from the outside, I thought for sure the fight was over at the end of the first round. Did you think the fight was over at the end of the first round? And if so, how difficult is it to change your mindset to get back into the flow of the fight?
从我们旁观者来看，觉得第一局的时候那个裸脚已经是小南晕过去了。那么从你这个第一人称的视角来看，你当时觉得自己已经赢了，但是你发现他又起来了，你觉得这个是不是挺难接受的一个过程？
对我第一回合晕了，然后那个结束的时候是小南已经晕了，然后但当时那个铃声响了，我不知道裁判会怎么判，但是第2回合小南很快就缓过来了，他缓得太快了，我觉得。
Yeah, because I really thought that she was out, and I did not know when the bell rang. I did not know how the referee is going to handle that, but she bounced back very quickly in the second round.
As far as the rest of the fight, were there any adjustments that you had to make, or was it just getting in there and having a difficult fight? What did you have to do to get over the hump to win the fight?
那在后面的这个4局里头，你有没有做过一些调整，让你自己能够赢下这场比赛？
其实我今天的比赛，我感觉就像做梦一样，感觉大脑一片空白。我已经很久没有这种感觉了。
Yeah, I felt like I was in a dream. I blanked out during the fight. I didn't know what I was doing.
Well, it was a big win for you, and we're hearing that it had massive impact in China, massive numbers. What does it mean for you to be a part of the sport and kind of leading the growth of the sport in China?
很显然这场比赛对中国的 MMA 意义重大。那么你觉得你作为一个领头羊，那你在这里是个什么样的角色？这场比赛对你来说是什么样的意义？
我觉得，因为在 MMA 在中国发展的很晚，我觉得这么快的时间，然后2个中国的女性可以站在 UFC 300的比赛台上打中国德比，我觉得是一件非常非常酷的事儿。我相信以后中国肯定会有越来越多的德比出现。
Yeah, mixed martial arts emerged in China really, really late, but develops really fast. So that's why today we see 2 Chinese girls competing for the title in UFC 300, which is a historic moment. And I believe in the future we're going to see more and more competition like that. 2 Chinese fighters competing for the title shot.
Lastly, for me, what is the goal for you now? I'm sure you want to take some time and rest, but is it about more opportunities to compete in China? Is it about building your own legacy or certain names? What are the goals for you moving forward in your ring?
那你觉得现在你卫冕成功了，你下一步的计划呀，或者说你的目标是什么呢？你肯定想要休息，但是你会不会想说，在中国也许会参加一些什么样的比赛，或者从此建立我属于我张伟丽的，我的一个名号？
有一个名号，
怎么说呢？也不是名号吧，就是说你是个传奇。
我觉得我的目标是传奇，这也是我追求的。但是我觉得我现在离传奇还非常远，然后我还需要学习更多的东西。然后对。
Yeah, I definitely want to build my legacy, but I feel like I'm still some way to become a legend. I still have a lot to learn.
Thank you.
To your far right, way over here. You had some fun with Buffer tonight when he was introducing you just before the fun moment.
今天布鲁斯在介绍你的时候，他好像有做了一些比较有趣的介绍。那你那个是事先计划好的吗？还是说这是一个当下产生的一个很即兴的？
你说是我吗？
是那个布鲁斯巴菲他介绍你的对那个互动
啊，那即兴的。
即兴的。Yeah, it wasn't planned at all. It was improvised.
Freestyle.
Freestyle.
And just one more for me. In 2019, you were here to fight Tisha Torres on the John Jones, Anthony Smith undercard. And I remember not a lot of people knew who you were, and you were kind of sitting there, and not a lot of media actually spoke to you. Tonight, you were the co-main of UFC 300, one of the biggest cards in the company's history. How do you feel kind of about how you've grown as a martial artist, but also how you've grown in the sport and how people have come to embrace you?
你还记得你2019年的时候比赛，然后你就默默无闻地坐在那里，没有多少人认识你，甚至没有记者想问你什么问题。那么现在5年之后，你现在是一个联合主赛，在 UFC 300，你觉得这一路走来对于你来说意味着什么？然后你有什么样的感想？
哇，我记得19年的时候，当时我坐在那儿，然后所有人都在接受采访，但是我坐在那儿，没有人问我问题。然后我觉得很尴尬，然后我当时跟我的主教练说，我说我一定好好努力，以后有更多的人来采访我。然后今天你看大家都来采访我了。
I absolutely vividly remember in 2019, I was sitting there awkwardly by myself. No one really paid attention to me. All the other fighters getting all the attention, getting interviews. And I was talking to myself like, hey, Zhang Weili, you gotta really become a good fighter one day. And one day, everybody want to talk to you, give you attention, and interview you. And here we are today. So.
Thank you.
Back here. Congratulations on the win. The evolution and getting martial arts to mainstream and the Chinese culture goes hand in hand. I mean, the first breakout star was Bruce Lee. How does it feel to be a part of that conversation? Like now the sport is completely mainstream with martial arts and mixed martial arts and being an icon of Chinese martial arts and also mixed martial arts as well.
你知道这个综合格斗，就像你说的，在中国是流行起来时间并不长。以前大家很熟悉那个李小龙，对吧？代表了中国的功夫，代表了中国人能够打。那现在你张伟丽作为综合格斗的一个符号，一个符号形象的人那你觉得你是起到了个什么样的角色和作用？
其实我觉得综合格斗有的时候我们很多人就是看待结果，但是我觉得这个过程，我觉得是非常值得学习的。就是每一个运动员都非常不容易，他们为了去比赛打好的比赛，然后去不断的去学习、去努力，流血流汗，也流泪。然后我觉得是非常不容易。我觉得有的时候很多粉丝，我觉得更多的要学习 MMA 这一种精神，然后这种智慧，然后内心强大。我觉得这种智慧，对。
When we talk about mixed martial arts, when we talk about fights, I feel like we put a lot of focus on the win and loss. But to me, what's more important is the process, the progress, because every athlete puts so much into this sport, into what they're passionate about. The sweat, the blood, the tears, everything has happened in this progress. I hope that we give respect to that.
我在 MMA 这项运动当中学习到非常非常多。
I learned a lot from this mixed martial arts sport.
Excellent. Thank you.
Weili over here. Tatiana Suarez, I spoke to her yesterday. She was at another event. She's healthy and back training. Do you believe she'll be your next challenger for the title?
舒亚雷斯昨天有接受她的采访，然后她现在好像状态挺不错的，也挺健康的。那你觉得她有没有可能成为你下一个的挑战者？
我觉得前几名的都有可能，但是我现在想先休息一下。
I absolutely feel all the top 5 and top 10 girls, they can be potential challengers. But for now, I just want to take a break and the rest.
Ice cream,
then pizza.
Yes.
Champ, what did you think? Hi, congratulations. What do you think of the Max Holloway knockout?
不知道你今天有没有注意到 Holloway，他把盖奇给 KO 了，然后你是怎么看待这场比赛的？
哇，我觉得霍洛威他的风格，他的心态特别好，然后他身体特别放松，他像水一样，然后那连贯流动，然后感觉，而且他不着急，我需要向他学习。
I feel Max Holloway that he was so fluid, he was so calm that brought out that KO performance. I want to be like him because I feel like today I was not really like that fluid. I don't want to be like him one day.
OK，我还想说，就是特别感谢我的教练团队们，然后 Big Wu 的，还有我的柔术教练，然后他们帮助了我非常非常多，我们在一块儿合作也非常愉快，然后也感谢 PI 对我的照顾。
Lastly, not least, I want to say thank you to my coach team. Every coach I've been working with, they've been great with me. We had a great working relationship. Also, thank you, PI, for the support and taking care of me.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
just don't believe we're paying that many taxes.
Chama.
Alex, congratulations. Obviously, a huge win for you. First round finish, UFC 300, but I mean, you've had nothing but big moments in your career so far, it seems. So, where does this one rank among your big fights so far?
Parabéns, Alex, pela vitória. Ganhou de nocaute aí rápido, primeiro round no UFC 300. Mais um dos seus grandes nocautes, né? Mas você já teve vários grandes momentos da sua carreira também. Onde você coloca aí no ranking dos seus maiores momentos na sua carreira esse nocaute aí de todos?
Bom, toda luta, todo nocaute, para mim é especial, né? Bom, essa luta aqui, me perguntaram na semana qual que seria a luta especial. Eu sempre falo que é a próxima. Claro que eu tenho muitas memórias, muitos momentos que, me deixou muito feliz. Mas esse momento de hoje eu estou curtindo muito, né? Isso aconteceu agora, então tem que curtir um pouco e, para mim esse é o melhor momento.
Well, all my moments are special, and they are special. But I always say my best moment still to be the next moment. But this was a very special night for me. Still sinking everything in. I want to enjoy this a little bit more, and then to enjoy the next one.
We find out now that there were some challenges, an injury coming in, a broken toe, I guess. How did that happen, and how much did that affect your preparation and your performance tonight?
Ficaram sabendo já que você veio para cá já com o dedo quebrado. Como é que isso afetou a sua preparação para a luta?
Estão sabendo já? Bom, foi difícil. 2 semanas aí antes da luta, né? A gente sabe ali que a gente já fez todo um trabalho, né? Mas você tem que segurar a onda ali para não afetar a sua mente, né? Porque todo o trabalho já tinha feito já, né? Quando eu quebrei o dedo, naquele momento eu já tinha que estar diminuindo os treinos. Ali seria o último treino forte, foi o que aconteceu. Mas, eu tomei cuidado para isso não afetar minha mente e deu tudo certo. Eu vim aqui e fiz um bom trabalho.
Well, I don't know how you guys know, but that happened in the next couple of weeks, and it's not something that I had to pull out the fight. I had to push through. It actually happened on the moment on my camp that I had to be slowing down my training, so I had to just push through.
Right before the knockout tonight, you took a growing strike. You just kind of pushed Herb Dean away. What was going on in your mind at that point that you didn't take a second and reset? Did you know that you were about to, potentially land a knockout, or what was going through your mind at that point?
Logo antes do nocaute, você tomou um golpe baixo, né? O Herb Dean veio, mas você colocou a mão nele para ele não parar e você foi para dentro e nocauteou. Você sentiu ali que o nocaute estava próximo?
Bom, ali eu estava achando a distância, chutando as pernas, chutando a perna da frente, já mal um canhoto. Dificulta um pouco, né? Todo mundo sabe, para mim lutar com destro é melhor, mas eu estava me achando ali, vocês estavam vendo, eu errei alguns chutes ali, mas achando a distância, machucando ele ali para acertar ele de mão. E foi o que aconteceu. Quando estava encurralando ele me acertou aquele golpe, mas foi um golpe suportável e eu achei melhor eu continuar para não sair da estratégia e para não dar tempo de ele pensar.
No, definitely, because I was starting to find my distance. I started using leg kicks from the beginning so I could find his distance. He's a southpaw, so it's a little harder. My game plan was to start throwing hands after that. So and then he threw the groin shot, but did not really hurt me too much. So I chose to just keep pushing so I do not have to reset the distance, capitalize the moment.
And then you have the knockout, and there was the meme celebration there. That felt a little bit emotional, maybe a little bit personal. What was the genesis behind the meme there?
Aí você fez o nocaute e fez aquela meme no final. Aquilo foi um negócio meio emocional, meio do que ele fez com você, né? Se você levou pro coração. Você acha que foi algo assim que... Por que você fez isso aí?
Ali foi algo pensado. Eu falei com a minha equipe, eu falei, se acontecer assim um nocaute, lógico que eu tava em mente ali para os 5 rounds, mas se acontecesse um nocaute ali, eu iria fazer isso, né? Porque ele falou que me respeitava em um dia, no outro dia ele faltou com respeito e todo mundo sabe da minha postura ali em cima do octógono. Eu sempre respeito os meus adversários, que eu sei que o quanto é difícil estar ali em cima e fazer aquele trabalho, mas ele me desrespeitou e foi o mínimo que eu podia fazer.
Potan.
Well, like I spoke with my team before, that I went to 5 rounds, but if the knockout would have happened, that's what I was going to do. He behaved not too good. He started with respect for during the week, and then he did what he did during the press conference and the weigh-in. So that honestly, the least that I could do was just that to him.
And last thing I just want to ask, you mentioned, potentially heavyweight, potentially fighting in Brazil. You're a huge superstar now. How will you make decisions moving forward? Is it about records, legacy, money? How will you decide what you do next?
Bom, falou também de lutar no Brasil, né? E agora você é um superstar, né? E já ganha o cinturão. O que te motiva e continuar lutando agora assim para frente ao dinheiro, a defesa do cinturão? O que você tem em mente próximo?
Bom, acho que tudo, né, cara? Eu gosto de fazer isso, mas estou ganhando meu dinheiro, né? Isso faz parte do meu trabalho, né? É muito sacrifício, né? Todo mundo gosta, né? Mas quando você chega nessa situação, né, nesse status, é claro que a gente precisa do dinheiro, a gente tem que manter, né? Pô, uma vida de campeão, dar uma vida melhor para minha família. E é isso que eu tô procurando. Mas claro que eu quero lutar, né? Falei de lutar no Brasil e isso não está no meu controle, mas eu já deixo aqui, né, exposto o que eu quero e vamos ver o que acontece.
Well, definitely, but everything, not only money, but of course money motivates. I came here to give a better foundation for my family and keep, doing better for them. So money is of course part of the game, but legacy too. And I spoke about fighting in Brazil, yeah, but it's not up to me, it's up to the organization, whatever they want to do.
Alex in the front, right here. After your win, it looked like you got your black belt from Glover. I guess, were you surprised by that, and what do you think of getting your black belt?
Depois da sua vitória, você ganhou a faixa preta do Glover. Você estava surpreso de ganhar a faixa preta?
Bom, um pouco surpreso, né? Mas quando ele colocou ali junto com o Plínio na minha cintura, eu vi o quanto que eu mereço isso, né? Todo o esforço que eu venho fazendo, a minha dedicação, treinando com muitos faixa preta e tendo um grande resultado ali nos treinos, eu acho que eu mereço isso.
Well, definitely surprised when they gave me, but you know what I mean. I've been training really hard and like the way that the way that they promote me over there, and the way that I see me doing, the way that I do on my trainings with all the black belts and high level guys. So I think something that I earned it.
E dos que duvidam, rede social tá aí para falar quem quer fazer luta de grappling, né, jiu-jitsu, tô aí.
And the ones that doubt, for the haters, social media is there, man. Invitational grappling, I'm on. Chama.
And in terms of your combat career, where does getting your black belt rank in terms of all the belts you won?
De todos os cinturões que você ganhou, onde você coloca a sua faixa preta no ranking?
Não entendi.
De todos os seus cinturões que você ganhou, qual a importância da sua faixa preta?
Acho que tudo é importante, né? Desde o meu cinturão que eu ganhei no Brasil, né, até agora, tudo tem uma importância. Assim como eu ganhei, né, um cinturão, claro que é menor do que o do UFC ou de outros eventos, meu primeiro cinturão. Se eu não tivesse ganho isso, né, eu não teria construído uma história para chegar aqui e estar fazendo o que eu estou fazendo.
Well, every belt for me that I got in my career is important. Even my first belt that I got, you know what I mean? Each one helped me to conquer and to build this career. So maybe without all the belts, I will not be here wearing this belt right now.
Would you get a black belt tattoo?
So I tatuar uma faixa preta?
Talvez.
Maybe.
Alex, over here.
What
You're right. Tom Aspinall just posted a photo a few minutes ago of him looking at you from the crowd, kind of in the background there. I'm just curious what you think. There's no caption or anything. What do you think he's trying to say by posting this?
Tom Aspinall postou essa foto alguns momentos atrás, sem legenda, sem nada, só postou aquilo ali. O que você acha que ele quis dizer com aquilo ali?
Não dá para saber, não. Só ele pode responder isso.
I don't know, man. Only him can respond to that.
Do you think, are you interested in a fight with him? I know you mentioned heavyweight.
Você mencionou peso pesado, estaria interessado em lutar com ele?
Bom, disposto a lutar no peso pesado. Eu não vou dar nomes aqui, porque eu não sei, eu não tenho esse poder. Mas se eu falo, eu estou dentro da organização, se eu falo que eu quero fazer uma luta de peso pesado, quem eles achar que é melhor, eu vou lutar.
Well, I said I want to fight a heavyweight. I'm not going to give names right here. I told them that I want to fight a heavyweight, so whoever they choose.
Alex over here. In the back. Alex, congratulations on your victory. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Obviously, the night was very exciting. I'm wondering.
Ele perguntou se você, como a noite foi indo, né, teve várias lutas, qual foi a sensação que você teve esperando no vestiário, assistindo todo mundo ir, você por último lá, qual foi a sensação que você teve?
Bom,
tá sem força, não pode.
Bom, eu tô acostumado com isso, né, de estar ali naquele momento, né, para mim não importa se vai ser uma luta no card preliminar, se é a luta principal. Eu treino para fazer o meu trabalho e fazer bem feito. Eu estava muito focado ali na minha luta e às vezes, claro, que eu vi alguns lances ali de lutas anteriores e só pensava na minha só.
Well, I trained really hard in regards to fight a prelim fight, to fight a main event fight. I got there today, but I'm always very focused on my own fights. I was able to see some moments, but for me, regarding where I fight in the card, I'm focused on my fight.
I'm sorry to ask. Would you be able to repeat that, sir? Sorry about it.
Let me think. He said that regardless where they put him in the card, he's there ready to fight. So he's focused on his own fight. Sometimes he fought prelims, sometimes he fought regular fights, sometimes he fight main event. Tonight he was the main event, seeing everybody go through, but he's so focused on his fight, he was able to capitalize some moments, watch some moments from other fighters, but he's laser focused on himself on that fight.
Thank you.
Potan, Valmir Silva, canal Mais MMA. A estratégia era essa, definir no primeiro round. E comenta o golpe ali pra gente. Você parece preparar a mão de trás, mas pega ele com a da frente ali. Comenta um pouquinho esse momento.
Potan, was this a strategy to finish on the first round? Look like you fake a little bit, they were going to go with the right hand, then you caught him with the left. Talk about the moment with us.
Bom, quando eu venho fazendo um trabalho muito bom com os meus chutes e todo mundo levou atenção ali para os meus chutes e eu sabia que ele estava esperto com isso para tentar me contragolpear ou pegar junto ali na hora do chute. Então eu estava tentando chutar ele numa distância um pouco mais longe, né? Onde vocês viram que eu estava errando os meus chutes na perna da frente dele. Mas eu sabia que ia chegar nesse momento, foi aonde que eu estava encurralando ele ali, ele me acertou aquele golpe baixo, né? E, pô, eu vi que o caminho era aquele e foi o que aconteceu.
Well, everybody's aware at this point of my leg kicks. Everybody think that I'm going to go with that, be throwing leg kicks back and forth. I was able to set him up, stay on a longer range, so I was able to set myself up. You guys saw that I missed some kicks, but I knew that I was going to get to that moment. The referee tried to stop the fights, but I knew I was getting closer to get it with the hands.
Mais uma coisinha. Você falou que quer lutar nos pesados, no UFC Rio, saiu ileso. Não gosta de falar nomes, mas já há uma negociação dos bastidores em caso de vitória, a equipe, o empresário falando com a organização?
You say that you want to compete at heavyweight. I know you say that you don't want to throw names, but is there any conversations about a name with the organization? Somebody that your managers are talking, or somebody's talking about?
Não, 100% ideia minha, né? É um desejo que eu tenho. Eu acho que eu tenho altura para isso, tenho força para isso. O peso talvez agora não, mas eu venho ganhando peso muito rápido, sem fazer um trabalho de força, mas se eu fizer um trabalho de força, com certeza eu chego, né, e eu chego bem. E é isso.
No, that's fully my idea. No talks with the organization or nothing. I believe that I have the power and I have the height of a heavyweight. Maybe I don't have the weight yet, but I've been just training for a light heavyweight fight. But if I focus on a heavyweight, make a nice preparation, I know that I can get there.
Potan, here. Potan, no UFC 295, eu perguntei para você sobre lutar no Brasil e no peso pesado, e você respondeu que ainda não era o momento. O que te faz se sentir pronto agora?
On UFC 295, I asked you about fighting in Brazil and fighting at heavyweight, and you say they were not ready for that yet. What makes you ready right now?
Eu acho que é a experiência, né? Eu venho treinando muito, o UFC 295, você falou, né? Então já tem um tempo, né? E, sou um cara que eu estou evoluindo muito e evoluo muito rápido. Então, acho que, eu vejo que é a hora e posso fazer isso.
I think experience in everything, but I've been evolving a lot. I'm a guy that evolves fast. I've been evolving fast, so I think this is the time for it.
No meio pesado, você acha que o Ankalaev é o próximo da fila? E se for, como que você acha que vai enfrentar um grappler como ele, que é um especialista nisso e você agora ganhou a faixa preta? Como é que você acha que seria enfrentar ele?
Well, if you defend the belt at light heavyweight, Ankalaev is supposed to be the next in line. How do you think we'll do with a guy that have that level of grappling, especially now that you won your black belt?
Não, agora um pouco cedo para falar. Acabei de sair dessa disputa de cinturão, né? Da minha defesa, né? Mas, eu iria treinar, né? Para ele, né, da maneira correta, né? E, vocês viram aí, né? Se eu recebi a faixa preta, não foi para me agradar. O Glover é um cara assim, muito responsável, muito experiente. E ele sabe o que está fazendo. Não é porque eu sou campeão que ele vem para me agradar. Ele vê o quanto eu mereço e eles fizeram isso para mim.
Well, I think it's a little too early to talk about opponents just for. But like you guys say, you guys saw, I just earned my black belt. You know what I mean? Glover and the guys put the belt on my waist. They know that I'm ready. They see me every day, so it is what it is.
Parabéns, você é o orgulho do MMA brasileiro, cara.
Congratulations, you're the pride of Brazilian MMA.
Potan aqui, queria te perguntar, cara, sobre a tua trajetória. A gente sabe que se a gente parar aqui para enumerar tudo que você fez no UFC, a gente não termina hoje, né? São feitos até inacreditáveis. Você saiu dos médios, foi para os meio pesados e agora está falando de ir para os pesados. Essa busca pelo desafio é algo também que te engrandece como atleta, como lutador, de se desafiar.
Well, congratulations for another achievement. You're a guy that have been multiple achievements on your career. That if we keep naming, it's going to be too much.
Eu perguntei para ele se a busca pelo desafio é o que engrandece ele como lutador.
The search for that challenge is what makes you the great fighter that you are?
Não, com certeza. Tudo tem que ter desafio, né? Pô, quando a gente tá treinando, sabe que vai entrar ali dentro, pô, é um grande desafio e, pô, tudo que vem acontecendo, pô, me motiva, né? Mas me motiva para me treinar, evoluir, para fazer o meu melhor. E, pô, isso tudo vem me motivando.
Well, the search for that challenge definitely is something that motivates me. I will always want a bigger challenger, and being inside that cage and achieving what I'm achieving is something that motivates me.
E uma das coisas que você já falou que te levou aonde você está hoje são as pessoas que estão à sua volta. Se não existisse, o Glover é o mais expressivo que a galera fala mais, mas são várias pessoas que te colocam teus pés no chão, te colocam no teu lugar. Mas se não existisse essas pessoas, o que você acha que seria do Poatan hoje?
Well, you also named that your success is also thanks to the people that you have around you. Glover is the one that, you know what I mean, with more expression, but there's many other ones around that keep you grounded. What do you think would be from Poatan without those people today?
Não, com certeza, né? Sozinho a gente não vai para lugar nenhum. A gente pode chegar ali até certo ponto, mas talvez não pode, a gente não consiga ir adiante. Mas eu acho que eu fiz tudo certo, desde os meus empresários, quando eu conheci o Ed Joinha, as coisas já começou a mudar. Eu vejo que são pessoas muito responsáveis, inteligente e, pô, me direcionou muitas coisas. Assim me direcionou, né, o meu encontro, né, para ir treinar com o Glover. Então as coisas vêm dando muito certo, igual o Plínio mesmo, desde 2016, 2017 a gente, pô, tá junto, né, desde o Glory, né. Então assim, pô, eu tenho pessoas do meu lado, né, de confiança, né, há um bom tempo. Pô, a gente tá com o Lee também, trabalhando um bom tempo. Pô, são pessoas que eu escolho estar do meu lado e pessoas boas. Então as coisas vêm dando certo.
Well, you can get so far by yourself. Everything starts also like with the people that I choose around me. Starting with my managers, George and Ed. When the moment that I chose them, my career started changing. They're the one that put me in contact with Glover, and everything started changing from there. I've been with Plínio since Glory, since 2015, 2016. Been by my side for a long time too. Also, Lee been with me for a while, so that's the key of my success.
Alex.
Before or after this fight, at any point did you consider this fight as avenging the loss that Glover had against Jamal? At any point before or after the fight, has part of this been about getting that loss back for Glover that he lost against Jamal?
Algum ponto antes ou depois dessa luta tinha sido pessoal para você para vingar o Glover?
Não, nada pessoal. Pô, todo mundo me perguntava isso e, pô, sou um cara muito centrado ali, eu tenho a minha estratégia. Né? Quando a gente leva muito as coisas pro coração, às vezes a gente acaba fazendo besteira, saindo da estratégia. E, pô, eu enfrentei o Jamal como um adversário que nunca tem enfrentado o Glover, um amigo meu. E, pô, as coisas deu certo. Pô, eu penso dessa forma e continuo pensando dessa forma porque as coisas vêm dando certo.
No, I came here focused to fight him, no revenge, no nothing in my head. I believe that when you take things so much to the heart, you end up screwing it up. So I came here just like if Jamal had never fought Glover before.
Congratulations. Alex down here to your right. Did you have an opportunity to watch the fight between Yuri and Alexander?
Você teve a oportunidade de assistir a luta do Yuri pro Haas?
Não, não assisti. Eu vi alguns lances ali. Pô, acho que quando eu cheguei aqui foi 6 horas da noite e, pô, eu vi alguns lances, mas eu tava muito focado na minha luta, pô, me aquecendo ali e, pô, tava focado. Então não, eu vi lances só, não vi nada.
I'm gonna be honest, I saw some highlights, just very few moments because I got here late today, right? Like over 6 p.m. And then from there on, I was just focused on my own fight.
Yuri seems to think that he's done enough to earn a rematch with you. Do you think that that's the case, or will you think you have to get one more?
O Giri pensa que ele fez o suficiente para ganhar uma revanche com você, contra você, para estar lutando com você de novo. Você acha que ele fez o suficiente ou que ele tem que lutar mais uma?
Bom, não depende de mim. Se a organização quiser colocar o próximo, para mim não importa, né? Eu só acho que é um pouco meio sem sentido, né? A gente está lutando, pô, com muitas pessoas aí para estar lutando comigo. Acho que se colocar para o público, para as pessoas que gostam de ver eu lutar, eu acho que não gostaria de ver essa luta. Eu vejo muitas pessoas falando de outros atletas que, pô, esse vai me dar trabalho, esse vai dificultar. E é o que as pessoas querem ver, entendeu? Pô, muitas pessoas são fãs e, pô, não vai escolher, eu quero um cara mais fraco que é pro Alex ganhar. Pô, eu não quero enganar fã, tô aqui pra fazer o meu trabalho. Se eles acham que, pô, eu tenho que fazer essa luta e eu tenho que provar que eu sou melhor para eles.
Well, it doesn't depend on me. It's not up to me. It's up to the organization. But honest, doesn't make too much sense for me. I want to fight the biggest challenge. I want to fight the guys that I didn't fight yet. The guy that defends say, this is the guy to stop Alex Pereira. This is the next one that's going to give him trouble. It's not for me. It's not something that I'm going to fight guys that I already fought before. They're like not great challenges. Whoever defends think there's a good challenge for me, I'll fight.
Thank you.
Alex, Drake the rapper won $1.2 million off of your win. Are you going to hit him up to have him buy you something with that money?
O Drake finalmente fez um troco, fez $1.2 bilhão apostando em você. Você vai mandar um textinho para ele mandar uma lembrancinha?
Não, pô, se ele perde eu não vou dar nada para ele. Então acho que, pô, se ele apostou, pô, parabéns, ganhou, pô, fico feliz.
If he lose, I'm not gonna give no money for him. So if he win, props, thank you very much.
Chama.
Gang, how does 130 sound? 130?